Sup, y'all? BT
Hello.
is back. I'm back.
Mike is back.
I'm back from vacation.
Mike.
And again, I don't take that many vacations. Hey, listen, no one's going to say no to a vacation. Sometimes except me. Shout out to Ponyo. My dad wanted me to come to Florida, and I was there for only like 3 days. But we're back. We're getting back in the swing of working again, which is great. Before we start anything, I just want to say tomorrow is a very, very, very special day for the B Team podcast, as none of you probably know, except for a couple. It's our buddy Muller's 26th birthday.
Thank you.
Tomorrow. So just want to say thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Without you, this podcast would be nothing. You are a beast, an absolute beast, and we wish you the happiest of birthdays.
Thank you.
And I cannot wait to celebrate with you.
Thank you.
Clap it up again.
Let's go.
26.
Elder.
You made it.
Elder Wand.
You made it this far.
But I got a friendship bracelet, officially part of the Taylor Swift gang. We're here.
So with your birthday coming up, is there anything that I'm not going to be like, oh, what are you thankful for? But like, what does this mean to you? Is it just another day in the life of Colin, or is it like maybe I should try something new? Because sometimes people take birthdays and like, you know what, new year, new me. New year, new me, and they think about something else that they want to either change in their life or they want to do differently, or maybe pick up like a hobby. Has anything come to mind that you want to maybe try out or do something different?
I mean, there's definitely been some thoughts about it. Like, should I continue to watch the Cowboys? But that's not going to happen. No, nothing's changing.
Okay.
If anything, like I'm just going to lose more money this year than I did last year, especially on this tournament.
Now, do you just look at birthdays as just another day now? Because that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. I work all day. So
I still look at it like at the end of the day, I'm allowed to, without anyone giving me any shit, I'm allowed to go into my fridge, take 12 beers out of it, and no one can say anything to me if I finish them all.
It's one of those where like you get to
I'm
the
allowed
age,
to do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's not even like, oh, like you look forward to it. It's like, oh my God, like I get this. It's like, you know what? No, I could do whatever I want, and no one can say a freaking thing about it.
Yep.
If I go out to eat, yeah, y'all are paying for my drinks. We go out, yeah, I'm going to pay for your drinks. Like that's how it should be at our age. It's like, all right, it's my day. I should be getting blessed.
Yep. I have acquired 36 cans of beer today. That's what my birthday has been. Lots of beer, lots of cake, lots of golf. That's essentially where we're at now.
I'm trying my best to maybe drink around once or twice a weekend now, or just through the week. It's so hard being at a bar and like working around alcohol all day, but I could do it. It's a mental game.
It's a mental game, dude.
It really is.
Just say no. Dare to say no. Dare.
Dare to say no.
Dare.
What was that dare officer's name in Richmond?
Dude, you're asking tough questions.
God, what was his name? Dude is a scumbag.
Whoa.
Seriously, such a scumbag.
I did not think that's where that was going to go.
I wish I knew his name in Richmond, because literally we saw him selling cigars at Music
Officer
Fest.
Brady. Yeah, I remember. Wait.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Officer Stewart.
He was a gooch. That's all that matters.
Okay.
All right, I want to get into it. I want to lead us into this.
Yep.
I have to start with the boys. I don't want to work you up, or should we wait?
No,
work you up
let's do it. Let's get it out of the way, because the Cowboys are
all in my ass. All in my ass. All in, comma, my ass.
All in. One of the greatest commas of all time.
Dude, he's got to sell the team, bro.
No, not what are,
sell the team.
It's not a what are they doing. It's a what are those two people doing.
Sell the team.
What are those two people doing?
You guys have to boycott this.
Like,
this is unacceptable.
Can I read you something right now?
Go ahead.
None of these are restructured. None of them are extended. Nothing. We're hearing nothing. We're hearing crickets. All we're getting is a goddamn long snapper and an elder wand at linebacker. Like, it's unreal what's happening here in Dallas. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Brandon Cooks are all signed through 2024, which is, just so the Joneses know, that's actually the year we're in. I don't know if they are capable of knowing that. But then we have Micah Parsons coming up in 2025. I'm sorry, but
he's gone, bro.
You could argue 5 guys on that list are all pros. 5 guys on that list are capable of being the best of their position. Like, it's wild that we're sitting here, and there's a possibility that None of these guys are a Cowboy in 2 years.
It's not even that.
And it's because of Jerry.
Oh yeah, this is all Jerry.
It has nothing to do with coaching. It has nothing
Sleepy
to do with
Jerry,
winning. It
bro.
has nothing to do with losing. It has nothing to do with not winning championships. It has nothing to do with the Eagles being the better franchise for the last 10 years. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with Jerry Jones and his kid coming out into the media every year and being like, we're going all in. Like, no, you Sith Lord looking ass, you ain't going all in. We all know that you're afraid to use this. You're afraid to use this. The only thing that you care about is how many people come through that door to check out your stadium you built. That's all you care about.
You can't tell me in Jerry Jones' position, you're looking at this team and you're not, I'm not going to say excited, but you're content or you're satisfied with where you're at. Even just restructuring contracts. Dak's contract, I mean, you've seen Jerry. I mean, well, I don't know if Jerry has, but like everyone else besides Jerry has seen Dak and the contract that he has. You're telling me that no one's coming up to him and be like, hey, listen, maybe it's a good idea that we bring Dak in and we restructure his contract because we're giving him all in common my ass.
Dude, like, I think people are saying that, and I don't think that these two are doing it.
He didn't make any significant moves. Like free agency, okay, this is the thing with free agency. There are people on the market for a reason. They could either, number one, charge you a crap load of money. They want a big contract and they're going to actually help your team. Or it's going to be someone that was waived, someone that didn't get their contract re-signed and maybe is a high risk, low risk, like could be cheap, could possibly turn it around. You see these with a lot of guys that have a great year and then demand a lot of money. Like Bryce Huff is one of these guys, even though he's been good previously. Guys who aren't that good and had a down year, like Jeremy Chin. He's another guy. Did not really play well and didn't even play a lot for the Panthers. But damn, Jerry, man. You had Derrick Henry. You could be paying him $8 million right now. Yeah. And who was your running back? It's not even just the running back that's important. They cut Leighton Vander Esch. You could have got some value from him.
No, stop.
Opinion. I think you could have got
Leighton
something.
Vander Esch is going to retire. Like, he's not playing
I could
anymore.
also see that.
No,
is he actually going to retire?
Yeah, like he
he's
medically
had a lot of
is
injuries.
done. Like, he's unable to play football. So, the people that are coming out, I've heard, not just from you, like, you didn't know, so I can't really be mad
Fair
at you.
enough.
That's that argument we always say on this show. Like, you can't be mad at a man when his response is, I didn't know. You can't be mad at him. Can't be mad at him. So, Leighton Vander Esch is basically, he's done. He's retired, like, completely from football.
Literally a Sean
So,
Lee.
the people that keep coming up to me, they're like, oh, why'd you guys could have got something for Leighton. Like, brother.
If he wasn't retiring, yes, he probably could have. But he's
like,
retiring.
What are we supposed to do?
Reason. Yeah.
What are we supposed to do? Like, the dude is done.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Know? So, yeah.
But the thing is, one quick point here.
I agree with you. I do.
It's like, I think other players see this, and it's like, why would I want to go to a team that's not going to make any moves? You think CD is happy about this, or Micah, or Dak? Like, you want your team... Your players are happy when they see that their general manager and their front office is actually striving to get better in a certain way. The Cowboys haven't done that. When is the last time? I mean, yeah, Brandon Cooks was actually all right. That was a pretty decent pickup. But they got rid of Michael Gallup. Needed to happen. Like, they did the stuff that they had to do with the people on their roster. But to at least improve, there was nothing at all. There wasn't even an attempt. There was no attempts, which is sick to me because, like, it's not like they're a bad team. We know this. Mm-hmm. But, like, you guys are going to be in the same spot if this is going to be happening every single year. Like, how many people are you going to draft and hope that are going to be studs right away? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
So, like, here's another part of this. We signed one linebacker, which, honestly, I know I called him old earlier, but, like, it was a good signing based on his...
Kendricks?
Like, that's a good signing.
Yeah.
But that was the only signing, and I'm pretty sure we saw the least amount of cap space. Like, how are we not trying to move money around here to open cap space up? So
just no
I don't think that we're picking up a running back. I think we draft one.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think we draft one. Now,
again,
from there, I don't know what we do because they could come out and sign someone tomorrow, and all of a sudden everyone's happy again. But right now, this team, they are probably on paper the biggest dumpster fire while also being one of the best teams in the NFL. Isn't that's
actually pretty
right?
true though. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's good logic in my opinion.
And
like, it's not like they're a bad team at all. They was finished 12-5 last year.
Yeah, no,
they got the players.
And they're bringing people, almost the whole team back. It's not like we're just running it back with a whole new team. That's why we're here talking about this. But they did just make a good move. Actually, I want to break some news. DB's coach Al Harris is being promoted to assistant head coach. I think that's a great move. I like Harris a lot. I think that'll help the team a lot. But that's not a Jerry Jones move. That's a Mike McCarthy move. We need Jerry Jones to step up and get something going here. He's got the money. Restructure these guys. Do what you are supposed to do. Stop worrying about your federal indictment and all this stuff that's probably going on behind the scenes. We got to get off the boat. We got to head back to the Star, and we got to get this thing going. Because let me tell you, the draft's right around the corner, and there's only so much you can do once the draft comes.
I think the draft is going to be a big indication on if they know what the hell they're doing or not.
They don't.
I know that,
They've
but
proven
if they
it
can
for
actually
25 years.
if they can actually change that, that would be nice. But it's like where do they see themselves 2 to 3 years from now? Do you know? Do I? I don't know.
Well,
I have no idea. Does Jerry know?
yeah, dead.
I mean, yeah, that'd probably be best for your organization at this point. Sorry, Jerry
No,
Jones.
because
I hate
Steven.
that I had to say
because
that,
then
but-
Steven Jones is going to take over. It's just a big circus. It's just going to over and over.
But would you rather have an older guy that's going
Saudis to come in.
senile?
This
Dude,
is.
bring
I
in
want to
the
give a
Saudis.
shout out
Bring
to
him
the
in.
PIF.
Bring him in.
PIF
Bring
right
him
now.
in.
I know that the PGA Tour doesn't really want you.
Bring him in.
If you want to get involved in American sports right now today, I am willing to offer you the Cowboys. The B team will offer you the Cowboys. We'll let you buy it for $100, but you fund our show for 2 years.
I like that.
2 years. 2 years. So $100 to Jerry, and whatever you guys end up doing to him. I mean, I don't want to speculate here. You could put him in a home. You could do anything. $100 to him. He's got enough money on his hands already, and then you guys take over. And yeah, I think if the Saudis buy the Cowboys, we're back.
He's losing steam.
Oh, Mike, the steam's been gone.
He's losing steam.
You know how the Titanic.
I actually kind of feel for you guys, man. Like,
You know how
are you guys
Titanic was
America's
going?
team anymore?
America's team?
I don't know if you guys are America's team anymore. I think it's the Detroit Lions.
Well, to be fair, if you look at how America is going in a whole, like in general, like
I
we
take
are
that
America's
back.
team.
I take that back. Houston Texans, America's team
in terms of football
in terms of everything, football and everything.
in the whole country.
Yep.
Because
Houston
the
Texans.
country, I mean, let's look at this next generation coming up. They're a bunch of little assholes. So if we're talking about that, like I seriously think the Cowboys are still America's team. They're going with the times. We got to be a dumpster fire at all times, while still being a very strong team. It fits right in line with America's values.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put it.
But in terms of straight football, no. Houston Texans, baby.
Do you think that the Cowboys can compete this year for a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Actually,
This year, coming up, yes. Because we just said it. They're still a good team. People aren't mad about what's going to happen this next year. It's what's going to happen at the end of next year.
I think their biggest year is going to be next year because how are you going to be able to afford?
Yeah.
And depending on how they do, CD, Micah, they might want out. They might not
That's
even
what I
want to
mean.
return.
That's what I mean.
But
what
they're not
happens
showing.
at the end of the season is what's going to be the big part.
And I
it's
feel
not
like-
this season. They could do whatever. They
Yeah.
could go as long as they get into the playoffs. It's fine. It's a matter of what they do in the playoffs. Because once you're in the playoffs, you could do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's out there. Everyone's professionals. Everyone's the best in the world. Once you're in the playoffs, it's a matter of can you win those 3 games. Can the Cowboys win those 3 games? I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like, I guess my last thing here, I just feel like when you put yourself in shoes of Micah, CD, people that have to get paid next year, and you see your team right now. This is probably the same with the Bills right now. Stephon Diggs, you put yourself in his shoes. You look at the state of your organization, your team. You obviously know the moves that they're making. You know the moves they aren't making. You know the trades that are happening. Mm-hmm. The Bills just let go of Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer. I think Matt Milano got signed elsewhere. Fact check me on that.
I think that's
Matt
right.
Milano's gone.
Right.
Gabe Davis is gone. All these guys are gone, and you're sitting there and you're like, where do I want to be here and not compete for a championship? Right now, they probably think that they have a shot. But deep down, do they think that they're the best team in the league or in the NFC? I don't know. They could.
Oh, in the NFC? No.
No. And if they continue with this position of watching and seeing how the front office is organizing, making trades, signing players, not signing players. I think that actually it matters. It matters to the players. And at that point, they have the leverage when their contract is up. You know they're going to be a hot commodity on the market. Any team that's got cap space is going to want Micah Parsons. Any team with cap space is going to want CeeDee Lamb. I just feel like they have to do more, and so we know this, but they got to do more.
Here's another part of this where I know Jerry Jones thinks about this. Is my last thing, and then we can move on.
Fair.
I know Jerry Jones has this train of thought where he wants to see stuff on the field. Like you look at these big games, and like I'm the biggest Dak supporter. You know, like I want Dak to be there throughout his whole career. I don't want to see him in another uniform.
All in my Dak, baby.
And but you look at some of these games, and it's like, yeah, previously, Dak Prescott, other than his rookie year, you could go in and say like he didn't show up. This year, I actually think he showed up. Like Dak can't run the ball.
He's top quarterback.
He can't block for the running plays. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. He can't catch the ball. So it's like CeeDee Lamb's on this list, and I love CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's my favorite wide receiver right now. I love watching him play. And yes, that's a little bit biased, but I seriously believe that he's the best wide receiver.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
But you look at that last game, and the beginning of that game is completely different. Completely different. If he catches those couple balls that he caught all year. You know what I mean? Like Dak can't catch it and throw it. So, and I'm not blaming CeeDee by any means. Like,
but Dak is getting the discredit from everything.
I think that I'm looking at Jerry Jones here, and he looks at that game. That's his lasting memory because his memory is shot. Like he's looking at that. Oh, CeeDee dropped it. Like, is he really or not? Like, could we get someone better? Like all this stuff. Like, should we let him walk? And that is ridiculous train of thought. But I know that's what he's doing. But if I was the GM, if I was the owner, Dak Prescott, we get that man restructured. We keep him in Dallas till the year 2050. We give him a Bobby Bonilla deal. CeeDee Lamb, same thing. You look at Zach Martin. Zach Martin should not play in another uniform, just like Tyron Smith shouldn't have played in another uniform. Congrats. And then you look at DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah. I mean, Brandon Cooks, fine. You can let him walk. Great player. But at the end of the day, like, you can let the guy walk. These other two, like these guys, you just have there's some things you gotta bite the bullet and just spend your money.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Eagles are willing to do it, and the Cowboys are never willing to do it.
And that's why I kind of think I know that we talked about, well, I'll just get into the Eagles real quick. I don't really plan on it, but yeah. I know that I said that Saquon, what did I even say? They shouldn't have signed him. I wouldn't say shouldn't have signed it, but like they could have used that cap for other positions. But what they did, I'm actually happy with because Howie actually he's not really big on paying these type of guys big star money, like what, $12 million a year, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Saquon fits. He does. He always fit. I just felt like they needed to really emphasize defense. I mean, we know that cornerback is an issue. Do you still have Darius?
They went and got CJ.
Yeah, but
I can't believe they did that.
Which is insane. And the fact that he tried to back his ass up, like, oh, Philly, like, no hard feelings, man. It was all a joke. Like, no, it wasn't a joke.
It wasn't.
It actually, I'm telling you this, it actually might go pretty fucking bad for him. Yeah, that's bad juju in bad faith. I don't know. And he's a damn good player. He will be back. He will be all right. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's ass.
Yeah.
Cornerback, Bradbury, I mean,
he got smoked a few times this year.
Yes, he did.
Especially in the division.
He's in their plans, but like, do they want to keep him for the long term? No.
I mean, so is Giancarlo.
There you go.
He's in the Yankees plans. Doesn't mean
hit
we want
a
him.
piss missile before. I don't know if you saw that.
Hey,
116.
Shout out to Giancarlo for my birthday. He's going to bat above 200.
Let's go.
Let's hope that he doesn't ruin that before tomorrow night.
That was a piss missile.
Dude,
but
massive.
Bryce Huff, I wonder what they're going to do with him. Because I don't know. I feel like they're going to put a lot of pressure on him, and they're going to play him 3 downs.
Absolutely.
At least.
Absolutely.
We only use him for 3rd down. Maybe sometimes on 2nd down, but he got the bag. Joe Douglas was never going to pay that, by the way. He was not ever paying that. But they only made a couple of signings, but they had the ability to do so because they have so much cap. I just wish they would have emphasized a little bit more on linebacker position and definitely on cornerback. You need depth, and obviously they have your rookies, Ringo, Rodgers, and whatnot. But you guys got to win now. Philly, the fans know they're hard, man. They expect a lot. They demand a lot. like any other fan base, but Philly's different. New York, Philly, very similar. They're ready to win. And I think the Saquon Barkley move was one of those where, like, yeah, we're going all in. We're going to help out Jalen, and we're ready.
Yeah.
So now it's just
Saquon really went from the city of losers to the city of losers.
he's going to snap.
Yeah, he's going to
He's
snap.
going to fry it. I pray to God that they use him right. Just give him the ball. That's all you have to do. Find ways to get him out in space and hand him the ball. He's going to be a bell cow. Let him be a bell cow. Yes, he's had his injuries, but he's ready. Yeah. Jalen, I think what they want to do is try to get the ball out of Jalen's hands and give it to people quickly, Saquon Barkley, and just let him go. Obviously, you want him to get second short situations at all times. You don't want to be back on long. That's why he's there. I feel like with Swift, they were kind of in the same boat. I mean, that's why I didn't think they needed him, because DeAndre Swift even was playing phenomenally with them. But they'll be all right. I'm just a little bit concerned about the defense. The offense should be better, but that's really all I have on the Birds. Just kind of had a little ramble there because I missed out. But I have a couple of other things, and I want to start with the episode before. I think everything you guys said was 100% on point. What I especially loved, there's about two things here. The Raiders, they might be my sleeper team next year. I like the direction that they're heading in right now. They just can't draft someone who's going to have some type of like felony or whatever and takes pictures with some M16s and ARs. So just can't have that.
Why not?
Because the Raiders actually have potential. Christian Wilkins was a really good signing. I like that choice gas. It really was just Max Crosby. I mean, I can't really name anybody else in that defense besides Max Crosby. Aiden O'Connell, I mean, they kind of have a little bit of a quarterback dilemma.
They're going to draft a quarterback.
I could see it.
I think it'll happen in the first round.
I definitely could see it. But their offense, I mean, you got my boy Zamir White. He's ready to go crazy. Devontae. Michael Mayer, I think they're going to expect a jump from him. Jacoby Myers and Antonio Pierce. That's a guy that the players want to play for. You saw it last year. They had no business being how good as they were last year. But good choice there. And then we got to hop into the Steelers. I mean,
dude.
Besides, after all the hate that we've gotten from them, well, I mean, I still hate the fans so good. Sorry, except for Tommy, Logan, a couple of guys. I was always right. We were always right. But no, they definitely won the free agency in my opinion. Besides the Bucs bringing back Baker and Mike Evans, this is exactly what they needed to do. What have we been saying? That we've been saying this. Kenny was never the guy. He was a Pitt Panther. We loved it. Homegrown kid.
He was wearing 2 gloves, bro.
Wearing 2 gloves. But what they just did was perfect. I think Russ and Mike Tomlin are going to fit really well together. And I think bringing Justin right behind him was magnificent. I mean, you got him for what? A 6th-round pick of conditional fourth. That's what you want.
Fleeced them.
Yeah. I mean, listen, okay, on the Bears' end, like, it was probably one of those situations where nobody else wanted him. But I did see that some other teams were interested. Yeah. But maybe it was a trade in good faith where they were like, you know what, let's send him somewhere where he's actually going to get better and he's actually going to learn. Yeah. And learning behind one of a really good quarterback in Russell Wilson, I think it was a trade in good faith, honestly, from Ryan Poles, who I also think had a magnificent free agency.
He did.
Not magnificent, a good free agency class.
I do want to shout out Ryan Poles because that's a smart guy. Pulling off this trade and basically it on paper looks like he got fleeced. Doing it on the one day of the year when everyone's just going to be absolutely hammered and forget that it happened. That was a smart move. Very smart move.
He was always taking Caleb. I've been saying it. It was obvious.
Everyone knew.
No, not 50% of Bears fans. They didn't know. They're like, oh, they should keep Fields and draft Marvin. I'm like, bro, why?
They were in too deep. They
why?
wanted to
a lot of people. I
think deep down they knew.
You said it too.
Well, yeah.
It was always Caleb.
But I was a flip-flopper. I was like, yeah, they should take Caleb, but I could see him keeping Fields.
I think where they're at right now, this is one of the best situations for a number 1 overall pick that I've seen in a long time. Yep. You're going to a team that's loaded right now. Loaded.
Yeah. So when they take Caleb, they'll have DeAndre Swift at running back, who's coming off a very, very good year.
He just has to stay healthy.
Yep.
DJ Moore.
Keenan Allen.
You got
DJ Moore and Cole Kmet.
And they're going to probably draft another receiver or another lineman.
Yep. But they're just going to get stronger.
Hot take. they could potentially get into the playoffs, win the division. It's not out of sight. It's not. But they could be a
Green
wild
Bay,
card
dude.
team. I think they could be a wild card team.
Yeah. I think for them to win the division, you're looking at year 2 because the Lions and Green Bay are coming back strong still. Green Bay, I think, has the upper hand there. But I do agree with you that the Bears could sneak into
It
the
could be one of
playoffs.
those like AFC North situations where you have 3 teams making the playoffs. I could see that. I mean,
the NFC is going to be a gauntlet. When you
the
really
NFC
break
is
it
getting
down,
better.
the NFC East, there's a possibility that all 4 teams are competing.
Like if I'm looking at some like right now wild card teams / division winner teams,
Yeah.
Atlanta. I think Atlanta's now in the mix. Atlanta at Tampa.
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. The Eagles, Cowboys.
Giants.
No, not even
Can
close.
I
Toilet
show
bowl.
you a picture that I saw today?
Okay, that was good sarcasm, but I was getting into it. And and Bears, Packers, or Bears, Packers, and Lions. Like besides that, I don't think anyone from the NFC West is going to come out
I don't want this
as a team that's going to make the playoffs.
don't want us to get canceled.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow, bro, I can't wait to see the
2
treatment. he's gonna
catastrophic
receive.
events right there.
Oh my god, he's going to receive crazy treatment next year. Is he going to? Are they going to even play him?
They said
for the
he's a
sake
starter.
of his life.
They said he's a starter.
Oh my heavens!
They told Drew Lock said in his press conference that he was made very clear
they're a
that
mess.
he is the backup and Danny Dimes is the starter.
I really feel bad for them, for the fans. They don't have to. They don't deserve this.
No.
What I mean, besides Brian Burns signing, phenomenal player, great signing, dude. I mean, what is
It's
what is
bad.
the offense like? I think the Jets' offense is bad. It is good. It can be good, but like that offense, oh man. Evan Neal, Andrew Thomas, yeah, stud. Evan Neal hasn't been good. I don't know their running backs. Probably Singletary. Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton. How
who else
long
is
are you
out
going to
there?
roll with Darius Slayton for? How long are you going to be convinced he's elite?
Plexico Burris, is he playing?
I mean, he'd probably be wide receiver 1 if he
I'm
was.
just trying to figure out who's even out there. Do they still have Darren Waller?
Considering retirement.
Oh, I would retire if I was him.
Yeah, if I saw that
I
team
would
too,
retire. I would get out of there ASAP.
they have to, that. I mean, if you wanted to describe a dumpster fire, that's one. That's the biggest one. But we'll stay in the NFC East here because I wrote down my top 3. Go ahead. What do you got?
Can we go back to the Steelers real quick?
Yes,
Because
yeah,
we
why
never
not?
really got into them too much.
Let's do it.
But
I know,
wanna
I'm rambling.
Here's their offense. All right. At quarterback, we got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is all the way back. I don't know if you heard that on the last show.
Yeah, no,
but
I
I am
watched.
all the way back. I will be getting.
love
I'm
this for
getting
him.
his jersey.
Dude, they snapped. They're paying him what, 1.2 million?
Well, he's making 32
From
off
the
of Denver.
Broncos.
Yeah. Who
He's just playing for fun at this point. No,
Dude,
he's actually
I don't
playing
know-
to make the playoffs.
I don't know how the AFC West is going to contain this. Stidham, Perrine, Patrick, Troutman. That's the Denver offense. I don't know how they're going to contain that.
That's Sutton. They got
But
Sutton.
back
too.
to the Steelers here. At running back, then we're bringing back Najee and Warren.
Jalen Warren.
That's a great running
Great
back
one
room.
too. Yeah.
Hand it to Najee all day long. Wide receiver, you got Pickens, you got Jefferson, who I think Van Jefferson can give them a little something. He hasn't over the last couple of years, but I think he has enough in the tank where he can be that third or fourth guy.
I think we
And
kind of know
then
where
Calvin
his,
Austin, Denzel Mims, Marquez Callaway.
Denzel Mims,
Yeah.
nice. Denzel Mims. I think we know Van Jefferson's ceiling though. I don't think
We
he's going
do.
to be. He's your wide receiver too.
Yeah.
He'll have a couple good games.
He has
but
a slant.
Yeah, I mean slant, but also a go route guy.
Yeah.
But I think he'll have those like 3rd and 6 completions for first downs, like the crucial plays. He'll make them, but he's not going to put up crazy numbers.
They got to play him like Godwin.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Down with the Bucks. Just
He has
throw a
potential, man.
slant,
He really
dude.
does.
Just let him do the slant every single play. Don't have him run any other route, just a slant. No one knows which way he's going to go, but just keep on doing it all game long. It's going to work.
The only thing I'm scared about with the Steelers is Pickens. I love George Pickens as a player, but can he buy into what they're doing, and can he be stable with what they're doing? Because we've seen him explode a couple times, and I mean, yes, he's competitive, but you know how we feel about that at times. It's like you see that, it's like like we don't want to see him go off the deep end. And he's a great player, and I want him to succeed. I just hope that Russ, like, listen, God's got my back, and like he's gonna get snuffed in the face. Like,
No, listen.
he's gonna get snuffed, bro. Like, if he said that to
he
George
hasn't-
Pickens, he's getting snuffed.
He hasn't had one quarterback like these two. Now he's got 2 that can actually get him the ball. I know Justin Fields, everyone's like, oh, he never knows where to look. But let me tell you, Justin Fields knows how to do one thing, and that's stare down his best wide receiver. So Pickens, like, you should be ecstatic right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I listen.
And then you got Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. Like, this offense, there is no reason they aren't putting up at least 17 points a game.
Okay, I was gonna say like 21 points a game. Listen,
I
I
was-
see a
yeah,
9-8
two
season
touchdowns.
and a
Maybe two
first round
touchdowns.
exit, bro. This is perfect.
Yeah.
9-8, get bounced in the first. This
That's
is
all-
perfect.
that's
It's
all you
exactly what we
need.
want.
That's all
That's
you
what
need.
Steelers want. They want that all the
They
time.
love that. They love that.
God, that would be so funny if that happened.
Oh, that'd be
I
awesome.
would love it because I'd crack up. But this is again, last thing here, they needed to do this to get better. Kenny was not the guy, he never was the guy. Russell can be actually good in this offense. I think they can make some noise. What do you got, guys?
One thing I want to say about the Steelers, I think Russell Wilson is the perfect quarterback for Justin
Yes.
to sit behind.
Yes.
Because they're so similar. I feel
Yeah.
like for Justin to really take his game to the next level, he just needs to be Russ.
Agreed. I definitely agree because we know he's got better rushing ability than Russell, but Russell has better pocket awareness and precision and passing than Justin, and Justin can actually learn from that. The running, that you can't teach that, but when it comes to passing and whatnot, Russell's a great quarterback to learn from. I agree.
For me, when Justin came out of college, like my comparison for him was a faster Russell Wilson.
It was. I remember that.
And I think he needs to learn how to move around in the pocket and keep his eyes downfield rather than just trying to run all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's his next step though, because we know that why he was one of the top quarterbacks. I think it was 2 years ago. He was like ranked 7th. He was a runner. He was a runner. He was a track star. He ran all over the field.
He was the best fantasy quarterback.
He was one of the best, yes. But if he can take that next step, and all it is going through your reads, progressing through your reads, throwing a precise ball, being more of a pocket passer, he will be a stud. That's because he has the potential. It didn't work out with the Bears. It just didn't. They didn't really surround him. That's like the Jets do it. Like you thrust him in right away.
That's what she said.
And you expect all in my ass. You expect him to snap. It's not going to be like that. And I'm actually happy that he's going to sit a little bit, and hopefully he's a fucking Steeler for a long time, man. I'm rooting for the kid.
Yeah. Let's get into what you were going to say.
So that was my number one team because I saw you guys did a top 3. Yeah. But more so signings. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's what we were.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, phenomenal sign. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
My sleeper team.
Wait, can I ask you something there?
Sure.
How many times a game do you think they run the ball total across everybody? Over 30?
Oh my God.
50?
Over 40, bro.
60?
They're going to run a lot.
100? Can you imagine?
I would be surprised if they run 60 times a game.
We were saying that they should do an entire game where all they do is run the ball.
Like the Patriots did against the Bills?
See if they could win.
Dude,
yeah, but I want it to be like 75 and sunny out, perfect conditions for tossing the ball around, and I want them to just continuously run the ball.
How do you stop them? How?
You don't.
How?
You know,
that was his
confirmed.
perfect landing spot. Like, you look at that team. You're ready. It was difficult to stop Lamar in the first place, but now you have the king in the backfield there. Man, they're going to be scary. I'll still take the Chiefs, but they're if they're playing the Chiefs in the chip, you know I'm taking the Chiefs. Yeah. But God damn, they're scary. Good for Derek and good for the Ravens. That's a perfect fit.
Yeah. All right, on to your
sneaky good free agency class or free agency in general. The Washington Commanders. It's not sexy though. It's not pretty. It's not like I just want to list off a couple of people, and you let me know if they're good signings or bad signings.
Got it.
Austin Eckler, 2 years, $11.4 million.
Bad.
Coming down a little bit, but he's going to give an option to whoever's going to be the quarterback in the passing game.
Can I give you a little take here?
Go ahead.
I don't think he'll be the number one.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's a great.
It's going to be
they have
B-Rob.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Gibson.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be
a good number 2. He can give him a little more guidance. You know, B-Rob's he hasn't had that guy there really that can give him guidance, like a veteran, show him the ropes.
B-Rob's more of a runner. He's more of a rusher. He's not really a pass catcher. Eckler's going to fill that void. But hey, listen, they might even line him up in the slot. Who knows? But obviously, I think he is coming down a little bit. But it's nice for the Commanders.
I'm going to switch mine to good. Good.
Bobby Wagner, 1 year, $8.5 million.
That's not a bad deal.
How much does he have left in the tank? I don't know. But I think he's a leader. He's a leader of men.
Yeah.
Mariota, 1 year, $6 million after that trade of Sam Howell.
Yeah, I mean, if they
It's not
get
bad.
if they like we said it a few weeks
He's a
ago.
veteran.
I think last week we might have said it that they have the worst pick in the draft. Like if they don't mess up that draft pick with their quarterback, that'll determine if this is a good one or a bad one.
You see, but they were ready.
Yeah.
And they actually set up for themselves.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz, 1 year, 5
Good.
mil.
Good.
Jeremy Chin,
Not
1
bad.
year, 5.2 mil. He'll come back.
Uh-huh.
Frankie Louvu, you know how much he got? 3 years, 36 mil.
He was a dog, and
He was a
dog.
dog. He was a beast. So he played on the Jets. He was good. Played on the Panthers. Was one of their better players on defense.
Panthers are just unloading.
Yeah,
It's kind of
they
sad.
are. But they're loading up on the offensive line. They got Robert Hunt, another guy. Tyler Baidez,
Yep. That's a good signing.
3 years. I don't know how much.
Yep.
And Clelin Ferrell, 1 year. I
They
mean,
they had a good class, dude.
it wasn't a sexy. It wasn't a sexy free agency for them, but
There was no
they
one
made
big.
signings that they needed to support their young guy, whoever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to just thrust Mariota and have him start right away, or are they going to start Jaden, start Drake?
Well, based
Who
on
knows?
those deals that you just told me, I could see them.
Competing. They're
I could
going to
see-
compete.
They're going to compete, but I think Mariota has the upper hand right now.
Like, you got these guys on 1 year deals, so you're going to try and win right now. And a couple of them are old. Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, but these other guys, even Eckler, he's on there for 2 years. Like, you're just kind of loading up for now and maybe helping yourself out in the future, going younger. But I thought they signed a lot of good players.
No, that's a very good catch. Actually, we overlooked that last.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of players. And again, you're in the NFC East. What do you got to do? You got to defend and you got to score points.
That's something they struggled with on both accounts last year.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked that they got rid of Howell, but nevertheless.
Jahan, come on the pod.
Yep. Number 3. This was my third team. It was Houston. I mean, you
we-
guys pretty much said everything.
We all saw that one.
Joe Mixon obviously was a better signing, but you guys didn't mention this either. Daniil Hunter, bro. They got Daniil Hunter. 2 years, 49 mil guaranteed.
I think that came out
That's-
while we were recording it,
Yeah.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't see
Will
that.
Anderson,
Dirty.
you have a lot of new duos forming. Him and Will Anderson. You had Christian Wilkins and
Max Crosby,
and
yep.
it was the Giants with Dexter Lawrence and
Brian Burns. Yep. I mean,
A lot of good pairings coming out this year.
I do want to say this because I know you guys were talking about it. I know the Dolphins kind of had that same turnover. We talked about that before, but dude, the turnover that Houston has made in the last 3 years is they hit on everything.
Shout out to
Their
coach.
their quarterback, their receivers, their defense. I can't think of one bad draft pick or signing that they made. Maybe Robert Woods and John Mechie, but who knows? John Mechie could still be good.
John Mechie still hasn't had a fully healthy
He also
year yet.
battled like leukemia. So
Yeah, like
he gets a pass.
He gets a pass on everything for the first 3 to 4 years.
Why I like I agree. But why I like the Daniil Hunter signing is he's only going to get Will Anderson better. He's going to learn so much from him. And he was already good that in his rookie year. I mean, are they a Super Bowl team?
Yes,
They can be.
We talked about this.
I think they can be. I think they win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I think the Colts are going to be really good too. I think the Titans made all right moves. They paid a lot for Ridley. Tony Pollard, very weird signing there. Like, do I see it fitting?
The Ridley
I don't
deal
know.
was a bad deal. You
It's
gotta
4
call it
years,
what it is.
92
They
mil.
had-
It's
they-
like,
they had AJ Brown. They wouldn't pay him.
Yep.
compared to
Yeah.
old Ridley that much.
yeah. I mean, like, did they need the position though? Yes, but like, did they need it for that much money? No. I mean, Ridley did put up a crazy year last year. I mean, you take him away for a divisional rival. Okay, that's one thing. All right, kudos, but it helped Levis. But for that much, 4 years, 92 mil, that's a lot, man. But
Hey, who knows? He might come out and have this like rebirth for 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden we're looking at a really good football team.
I think
Now, granted, I don't think Pollard's that guy.
no, I don't think so either. And I
He ne-
don't really like the destination there.
Dude.
Just something about I got Tajay, but something about it, man. I don't know. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It
No.
doesn't look right in a Titans uniform.
That and he needed Derrick Henry next to him. Like if
I think
Derrick
again,
Henry's
he's
next
the
to
B.
him,
He's not the one A.
Yeah.
He's the 1B.
he proved it last year.
And they're paying
Well,
him.
he's maybe got a 1A in Tajay.
But dude, they're paying him.
Maybe.
Bro, they're paying Tony Pollard 3 years, 24 mil.
Yeah.
They ain't paying him to fucking play on third down only. They're paying him to be first and second down, and then they're throwing Tajay in the third, which is such a killer for me. But God damn it! But it's all good. But listen, it's going to be Houston and Colts. I think the Jaguars, unfortunately,
Done.
I don't want to say it because we're jagging off always.
Hey, I'm jagging off all the time, but listen.
It hurts. They signed Gabe Davis and they went.
You got 2 quarterbacks from that same recruiting class. Like, bro, it's over. It's over.
It hurts. But the only reason why I won't count out the Colts because AR can be good and Shane Steichen is a really fucking
AR
good
is going to
coach.
be good for the first 5 games.
Yeah.
And then
if
he's
he
gonna
gets
hurt his
injured
shoulder.
again, they got a big problem on their hands. Hopefully they don't. But that's kind of it there. And then the Bears, like I went through all their picks.
Yeah.
They made very big splashy signings, but
Guys, go ahead, and then we got one more thing.
One signing I think really went under the radar was Curtis Samuel to Buffalo.
yeah, I
think
agree.
that was a pretty good pickup.
They needed that too.
Gabe Davis was a field stretcher for them, but he didn't produce. I think Curtis Samuel is a field stretcher who could also produce and actually catch passes.
The only thing with Curtis, though, I feel like his role is the slot. I feel like they don't really send him on deep routes. Maybe like deep crossing routes.
That's what they're going to be doing.
Like deep crosses.
That's how they use Gabe Davis, and Curtis is very fast.
It was a move that they needed to make. Khalil Shakir is a good player, too. They're still going to use him. They're going to just play empty a lot. And James Cook first and second down. But you're going to see a lot of empty formations where you have Dalton Kincaid out there. You got Diggs. You got Curtis. You got Knox. You got James Cook. You got Shakir. Do I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But it was a good signing. It will help them. But their defense, I mean, we'll see. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were. Yeah, that's for sure.
I agree with you.
But that's kind of
so
it
we have
for
one more
me.
thing here before we go.
Oh, damn it. Don't.
So we got to get into this real quick. So Jets football we talk about a lot, but today we're not really going to be getting into the Jets. We got to talk about the fact that Aaron Rodgers could be the Vice President of the United States of America.
Was I wrong that this signing was going to be all headlines? Did I not say this for so long? Imagine that. It would only happen to the Jets if it happened. You'd be like, hey, listen, I'm going to retire. I'm going to run with Robert Kennedy Jr. and we're going to make America great again. And we're going to do a lot of DMT. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Get me up. Get me riled up, man. You fucking fire me up.
He'd be the first vice president to go to the Super Bowl
I'm just trying
and
to
play.
I'm taking all this shit with a grain of salt. I don't want to see it. I just want to see him in a uniform, and I want to see him slinging balls to Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson and go from there. Now, how much time are we on, guys?
We're at 43 minutes.
Should-
All right, go
should we
ahead. 2
cut
minutes.
it?
2 minutes. Go.
All right.
2 minutes. Go.
If we don't sign Mike Williams, they flugged up bad. Get him on. If they don't sign Mike Williams, I'm gonna be
All right.
pissed.
I love all of you. I'm going to disappear.
I'm gonna be pissed if they don't sign him. All right, me or you first, because it seems like you know.
Go ahead.
Okay, just let me ramble a little bit. We're gonna cap it at 50. John Simpson, all right, that wasn't bad. I think Morgan Moses bringing him back was solid. Tyron Smith. Now, you look at the line. We have 5 starters. We have Tyron, we have AVT, we have Tittman, we have Simpson, and we have Moses. What's our depth looking like? Do you know?
Zero depth.
Carter Warren, Max Mitchell.
Zero depth on the line, but 5 solid starters. Some are injury prone, we know.
Do you really think that any of these guys are going to stay healthy the whole year? You think Tyron's going to play the whole year? There is no shot.
I would have to say out of 5 guys, at least some of them will stay healthy.
I'm right now mentally, because we know this is going to happen. 2 out of those 5 guys are going to be hurt for a long time. It's just how it goes. It's gone like that every damn year.
Yeah, so every team has injuries. It's going to happen to every team, probably every positional group. So we know there's going to be injuries, but do we have enough now on the O-line to kind of play through those injuries and still patch together a decent O-line? I think we do.
I think we don't. I don't think we do at all. Max Mitchell is probably the only guy behind that line, depth-wise, who I think could be like a swing position. You fill him in, you hope for the best, you cross your damn fingers. Carter Warren, we don't know anything about this guy. Billy Turner, that guy's probably working at 5 guys right now. I think this is why where they're at right now, the position they're at number 10, is such a swing because Brock could fall there. You could use him. You can get any receiver you want. This is why I was saying how I wanted receiver in free agency. Attack it right away because we know we have to protect Rodgers. I'm still on the O-line train. I think if they do trade back, if that's one scenario, Fuaga has to be the guy. You see him, he's just a monster. You got to draft him. Like, I'm just scared that we're going to go through the same shit that we went through last year where one guy goes down right away. It's always a veteran guy. We love signing these veteran guys. And then after that, we're going through a fluctuation, different combinations of the O-line. We need guys that are going to be here for the future and that are can produce right now. And when you get a guy at number 10, he's going to produce right now. Look at Tristan Wirfs. Look at Andrew Thomas, even before top 10. Look at Mackay was going to be that guy, but he's not anymore. Look at Skoronski. He's that guy. I think you just can't. It's tough because I know they want to build for the future and accumulate more picks. You just have to make sure that if you do move down to, let's say, 13, 14, 15, in that area, that one of those guys is for sure going to be there. That's the only way I'd be happy with it. Only way.
So what I'll say about the O-line, I think it was a great free agent class on the O-line. We have no depth, but we only had 2 starters on the O-line going into free agency. Now we have 5 good starters. Some of the guys might be injury prone, we know this, but there's 5 good players now on the O-line. I think Joe Douglas did everything he could do in free agency.
For sure.
As far as the draft, I think we know what Joe Douglas does. We saw the Will McDonald pick last year. The way Joe Douglas drafts, he has his big board. He has his rankings of his prospects, and he is going to take the guy who he has ranked highest. That's what the Will McDonald pick was. D-line was our least position of need. That was our strongest positional group on the whole team, and he kind of reached on a D-lineman.
We wanted JSN, remember? I thought it was for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
What you saw there was he had a guy ranked high on his board, and he said, fuck the noise, fuck everything else. If people think we're reaching, we don't care. We're taking our guy.
And I respect it for that,
and
too.
That's what they're going to do this year, bro. It's not going to be a defensive guy because if they do that, everybody's getting fired.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the best offensive player on their board. I think it could be a receiver or it could be an O-lineman. I don't think Joe Douglas goes into this draft just considering taking an O-lineman and nothing else.
No, I agree.
They're going to be considering receivers. And I think the pick is going to be Brock Bowers. I'm going to say it now, and I have a reason for that.
If there wasn't, hold on, if it wasn't O-line, and if, let's say, Malik Neighbors is already taken, Barv's already off the board, and you have Brock and Rome sitting right there, you know damn right he's taking Brock Bowers.
So what I'll say
It's
about
obvious.
Brock Bowers, a lot of scouts have him as like a number 4 overall player in this draft class. He's not going to get taken that high because he's a tight end. He's not going to get taken in the top 5 most likely. He'll probably fall a little bit. Now what that means is at 10, if he's still there, there's a very good chance he's the best he's the highest ranked player on Joe Douglas's draft board. I think there's a good chance he gets taken. That being said, if Rome Odunze is still there, which I don't think he will be, you're taking him at 10.
Over Brock?
You're taking him over any player in that whole draft at 10.
But this is the thing, though. Like, obviously it's a little bit early now. We're around, 41 days out. You're going to have teams going up and trading for a quarterback. That's just how it's going to go.
We could trade back because Penix is going to be there at 10 probably. J.J. McCarthy. There's going to be
these
teams
guys are
who want to
get
trade
stocked
up. So the Jets could trade back. I could see them doing it, just trading back a few spots into the teens, getting a second-round pick back, which they don't have right now. But here's another thing I want to cover. We're talking about the O-line. You know, they made some signings. They could still use help. But, dude, look at their receiving core right now. Now,
this is why I wanted them to attack it earlier.
We're talking about the injuries on the O-line. There's 5 players on the O-line. You only get 3 starting receivers. The Jets have a guy, and I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want to put this out there, but they have a guy who, if he gets hurt, we all know who he is. The season's over. The season's over if he gets hurt. So if Rome Odunze is there, you're taking him, man.
It really...
Rome Odunze is such an elite player. Like, you don't pass up on that just because you think you're a little needier on the O-line. You don't pass up on that for a guy like Fuaga. It's not like he's a can't miss. Rome Odunze, if he's there, you bring him in.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's a good point too. And I think my opinion would be a lot different if we had a different quarterback behind us. If we had a guy that was younger and that was mobile, I'm not saying Rodgers isn't mobile, but if we had a guy that could avoid that and run out into safety, like Zach was mobile, and he just couldn't really have that pocket presence on him. He was always getting sacked. I just think with Rodgers being behind there, and Rome is a damn good player. I know that too, which is why I feel like they have to anticipate knowing who's going to draft up for a quarterback. If they can figure that out and actually guess correctly, say let's 4 quarterbacks go top 4 right off the bat, and then he actually trades back. Okay, we're looking damn good. We just got to hope defense gets taken before us, and Rome, Fuaga, Fashanu. I don't think they're going to go Fashanu. I feel like he's fallen a little bit, and I feel like they don't really. Joe Alt would be the only guy that, like, if he's there and Brock and Rome are there, it might just be like, okay, like this is perfect.
Yeah, but Joe Alt, I think if he's there, they'd probably take him over anybody at that point, but I don't think he's going to be there. In every single draft in recent years, you see the top left tackle getting taken, like number 6.
I will say this, if this all depends on if Mike Williams gets signed, or they at least bring in some other guy like Tyler Boyd or someone.
Yeah, that could still happen.
If Mike Williams gets signed to the Jets,
it's BPA.
It's BPA, but I feel like you have to go old. Or it would probably be those 3, Brock, Rome, or O-line. I still think, again, they should go O-line. I just think it's so important for them to not fuck it up yet again, and to not put yourself in that position to not have your ass covered, if that makes sense.
So I'll say just like 2 more things on this. If they trade back, or even if they don't trade back, you can still take O-linemen in the 2nd, 3rd for your depth. We don't have depth now. You can kind of take guys in the later rounds to hope that that's your depth. And what was I gonna say? Another thing, I think BTJ could be in the mix at 10, or even if they trade back a few spots, BTJ is in the mix.
You see, and that's what I hate, bro, is because, like, if we would have just taken fucking JSN last year, I would have been all for this. Or if we would have taken if we would have taken, like, Broderick Jones and the Patriots didn't screw us over, I'd be on the same boat as you are right now. But, oh, God, it just scares me, man. Just seeing what happened last year and these old aging players. But the thing is, Tyron Smith is an absolute, he's one of the best left tackles in the game. When healthy, of course. It's just, can we risk it? I think the last 6 years, the most games he's played is 13 in a year, which isn't mean it's good, but you want to finish the whole season. But they got options, and that's what I like. I just hope that they make the right decision. Like this is his last shot. If he fucks his pick up, and they either make the playoffs, get bounced in the first round, or don't even make the playoffs at all, I still think they're gone. The whole front office. If they make the right spot, if they make the right choice, the player is good, and they make it past the divisional round or the wild card round, I think he's got another shot. So we'll see. I hope that they make the right freaking decision, dude, because I think this is more anticipated than last year. Every single year.
Every
bro.
year, same thing.
Literally, like, this is the only time where, like, we actually care about something, because, like, usually midway through the season, the season's over. That happened with 4 snaps in the first game. But this is where, like, we make it or break it. You know this. We've been down this road so many fucking times. So that's all I got. Good discussion. So you're pretty much... Give me your top 3 if Brock, Rome, and another O-line are there.
Off the top of my head, top 3 prospects for the Jets right now. Number 1, Rome Odunze.
Rome.
I'll throw Fuaga at 2. I'm going to leave Joe Alt out of it just because I don't think he can fall. Yeah. And
Brock.
3 is Brock.
So that would be your top 3. Okay, mine would probably be Fuaga, Rome, and then Brock. And then Joe Douglas, what do you think his would be? I think his would be Brock.
Brock number 1.
Fuaga.
Rome number 2.
And then Rome. That's what I think.
Never know. You never know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end it on that. Again, tomorrow, wish your boy, Mr. Muller here, happy birthday. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Did you introduce the March Madness?
Not yet.
Okay. We'll introduce that Tuesday.
Tonight. And then we'll have the March Madness one out.
Word. We have special guests coming on Tuesday. If you really want to get into more draft stuff, tune in. We'll have that video out. And we shall go from there. It's good to be back. This is